Hi guys. So I haven't done a trading view stream for quite some time actually. So what I want to do, I want to just show a couple of things that I have actually shown over the last couple of weeks. All right. So I recently done a stream on TradingView. Right. Let me go back maybe a little bit on this in a second. I'll show you what this one is. So I done this stream recently on TradingView, and I actually talked about the kind of log scale chart. Right now, the trouble being is people come to me and they ask for things like the pi top indicator, Plan B's kind of S2F model or whatever version he's on right now. The reality is, guys, just zoom out, look at these kind of log scale charts, right? Understand and appreciate what they actually show and what they kind of fail to show, right? So top left, I've got gold. The bottom left, I've got the Nasdaq. Top right, I've got SPX, which is S&P 500 for some of you, and obviously Bitcoin, the bottom right. Okay, so this is how insane these 200-day moving average type indicators, these pi top indicators are. Guys, all you're showing is an average of what the price has done, right? If the price of gold has gone up since 1800 and something here, bottom left, all the way to now, what do you think the moving average is going to be showing, right? You got the same thing with SPX. It's an indice, right? Bitcoin, of course, it's gone up. I mean, it started off at 0.001 of a penny, and it's going up, and it's gone up, and it's come back down, right? I think anybody that's trying to show you, you know, massive day moving averages, S2F models that clearly do not work, right? All they're trying to do is get you to click on some Bybit link for you guys to spend money with a broker, which in essence pays them theirs because clearly they're not making money trading, right? So I'm going to fast forward a little bit into this particular video, and I've talked about a couple of things all the way through, right? So these are obviously, if you follow me, you'll see some of these things before on my own posts. Like I've just said about Plan B, right? We were at 69K and this guy was calling for a 98K November, right? So just think 98K would have put us, in the middle of this Carl tweet, right? Literally the candle after, right? We hadn't seen a candle even from below 20K through the first time around. We hadn't seen a candle that size within 1 month, right? In terms of where we were, even this on a weekly time frame, we would have seen this within one weekly candle based on where we were at this particular point, right? Then he was talking about 135K December, which is actually off my scale here on this chart, right? After an exhausted rally, who in their right mind would think that we're going off to 135K in literally a couple of bars based on a weekly time frame, right? Just I'm speechless in terms of how people actually follow these clowns, right? You got people like Carl who've said things in the past like 50K is half of 100. Oh, it's easy to get there. Where's the liquidity coming from, right? These clowns are exit liquidity for us professionals, right? So, in essence, understanding what you're looking at with these, you've got MMC Crypto. These guys are all trying to sell you one Bybit links, recording YouTube videos with thousands of views that, in essence, pay their, kind of showy lifestyle. And guys, that's all they're doing is they live in a rented life, right? Truth of the matter is, if you want to learn to trade, you have to learn professionally, you have to learn to be patient, and you have to dedicate some time to learn to trade properly, right? Risk management is key, not taking stupid leverage trades, hoping for $1 million deal off your $100 entry. It doesn't work like that, right? And you might be lucky you get it kind of once, but you're more likely to lose your account, lose your account, lose your account. Martini guy, 70K tomorrow. Yeah, and we went from 69 to 15 and a half. Ben Armstrong, 70K plus 5K Ethereum. Things that are inevitable. Yeah, at some point in the future, maybe. Right? This is the kind of people that you're dealing with, guys, as, newbie traders, right? That's the first thing. That was one of my first streams, this one here, right? I've just talked about that and covered that. The second thing is I actually spent a bit of time showing how to use Chat GPT on PineScript, right? So I've just received an editor's pick for this particular post. So it's obviously got lots of attraction in terms of comments as well as the likes. So this one, I've just basically gone through how to use the chat, how to write commands in simple format. I've used version 4, as you can see within the video. And in essence, it basically spits out, within a couple of minutes, it spits out the first version of the code. I then went away and refined the comment to come back to upload the second version, which in essence then give me these buy, sell over a simple EMA type strategy. And again, just watch the video. It's only 8 minutes long. It'll give you a good understanding of how you could use this for yourself in terms of using ChatGPT. Okay, so they're the first couple of things. Then back to the charts themselves. This is actually another indicator that myself and one of the subscribers within Mayfair have actually just been building. I had this idea based on one of the strategies I used a long time back, which is to do with the footprint charts and ultimately the depth of market, understanding where, in essence, the kind of POC positions are on these kind of time frames, on a higher time frame, understanding where the key levels are kind of hidden away from retail, and then using kind of a cloud-based methodology to view the momentum or the speed as we near some of these key levels. Right. So again, this was kind of started off with Chat GPT, and then what I've joked with the guy building this is that he's become kind of Chat GPT or GPT 5.0 because this is pretty cool. So in the grand scheme of things, right, all I'm looking at right now in terms of Bitcoin in its current situation, I want to keep this video relatively short, is, I'm seeing red, I'm seeing red, and I'm seeing red, right? So that's the first thing. So the second thing is, I'm just going to use this indicator to kind of give you the perfect example here, is that we've actually got a couple of things happening, right? We've got from a position here, right? We've got this nice ascending move with not really much momentum. If you see this green momentum here, right? Not really much momentum. It's on daily time frame. Okay, so let's zoom back out to the weekly. We've now got this ascending move with basically kind of a range bound sideways, right? And this isn't any kind of bullish megaphone or anything that your influencer will throw at you. Let me just give you a little bit of logic as to why. So we've got this move kind of going relatively sideways. It's this kind of indecision aspect, and it's over 3 weeks now that we've had this kind of indecision. So we've actually got, right, a couple of things going on there to start with. Now the next thing is I'm going to stick on the stochastic indicator. This is something that I use quite a lot of. So the stochastic indicator, if you look at the situation on the weekly, right, we're already in overbought territory. We've got this indecision move on an ascending range, right, which means we're more likely to drop to come back through, right? We've got a key level down here, which is around 23k first level. I'm not going to say that's kind of the end of and that's the bottom of this range, because we might find that that becomes our A, we come back up for a B, and then we drop down further again for a C into the next kind of key level range potentially, right? So for me, this is just kind of assessing the character. You have to keep in mind this is a weekly time frame. So right now, the bias as a whole is we're not really going anywhere. I'd like to see a break to the downside. If we then come to the monthly time frame, right, and we see this now as a situation, let me just see if I can put the stochastic back on. Did I just click it off? I think I just clicked it off. I'll stick the stochastic back on. And in essence, right, where we are on the monthly time frame is we've been kind of busy going nowhere on the monthly. We got the stochastic more or less overboard again. So we got the weekly now aligning with the monthly, right? And if you look at where we are on this particular indicator, what we're actually seeing, right, is, see, I can, I'm have to zoom in a bit smaller to make it easier to view. Okay, there we go. So what we're actually seeing, right, is kind of a force now that we're building up at this key level. We're building up more selling pressure than the buy-in pressure, right? So we've got a weekly ascending range. We've got more sells than buys. I've posted in the visitor section within Discord as well as in the Musing channel of the subscribers area about the kind of COT situation. We got COT data obviously in a couple of days' time. We're still relatively negative there overall. And I think in the grand scheme of things, we've kind of been busy going nowhere, right? Although we've had this kind of move from the bottom, right? This move from the bottom needs some kind of recovery, some kind of breather before it makes its next decision in any which way. So I kind of feel with the monthly overbought, the weekly overbought, we've got some real kind of negative pressure on the indicator, right, which is the delta. We've actually got COT data still pretty short. And if I go back to what I posted back in October, November last year, I think it was October for the subscribers, November for everybody else. We've actually got the schematic 2 option, which I'm going to come back to the weekly. Then turn this back off. We've actually got a situation forming where we've had this kind of nothingness happen, this indecision happen in the range or in the band of the higher resistance level, right? So, given the fact that we could easily come down, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or more, then there's no reason why we won't test the lower band. And like I said, what I'd like to do is just assess the character at a couple of these key levels, right? A couple of key levels, going to be the halfway level. And then let's just see how we get to where we're going from there, right? So if I had to put any kind of bet on right now in terms of where we are, I think we probably very likely to stay kind of sideways with a bias to the downside before reloading to go kind of anywhere next. All right. So that's the current situation. That's where I think we are. I'm going to leave it like that for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next stream.